Roman Reigns is expected back at her around Survivor Series, but how? Kurt Angle did a fantastic job to fill in for Roman Reigns on short notice, playing an important hand in snatching victory for the makeshift Shield against Mrs. Monsters. But for everyone with a half-discerning eye, you can't deny that Roman Reigns was a big miss at TLC. Although the Thrill-A-Minute main event papered over the cracks, and the hastily assembled AJ Styles vs Finn Balor match added sheen to proceedings, one can't help but look forward to Roman Reigns' return, which is believed to be in and around the time of Survivor Series. But when the big dog is good and ready to come back, how will the WWE introduce him back into television? It isn't merely a case of Reigns' music hitting and him striding out on an episode of Raw. The WWE will be obviously looking to make his return seem as big of a deal as can be in keeping with the current trend. But how exactly will they go about it? We believe we've got a few ideas on that front. On that note, here are the 5 most explosive ways WWE can bring Roman Reigns back to television after he heals up. If you've got a good idea that we haven't covered, please jot them down in the comments below, and we can talk about it. Number 1. Cleans house like Stone Cold. For those of you who remember this clip, it's also likely you remember the roof-raising, ear-splitting, earth-shaking reaction Stone Cold got when he returned to the WWE help fend off Team Alliance's invasion. And the legendary JR's play-by-play only makes it all the more goosebump-inducing. Today, however, Michael Cole is certainly no JR and Roman Reigns is nowhere near as popular as Stone Cold was, but with Team SmackDown invading Raw and laying to waste everyone in sight, the WWE has yet again created a need for the great equalizer. And just like Austin was for Team WWE on that day, a returning Roman Reigns can be that guy for Team Raw. It would make him look incredibly strong and get the fans on his side too. After all, absence does make the heart grow fonder. Number 2. Resumes rivalry against Braun Strowman. I think we can all agree that it's only a matter of time before Braun Strowman returns and destroys Kane for his part in getting him parceled off in a garbage truck at TLC. And as much as that puts over Strowman, nothing could be as mutually elevating for the monster among men as a resumption of his hard-hitting rivalry with Roman Reigns. Easily the most entertaining feud of the year, in my estimation at least. Both Reigns and Strowman seem to have a knack of getting the best, worst, out of one another. And for the WWE Universe, that often translates into highly watchable destructive television. What's there not to like about it? Number 3. Captain of Team Raw. SmackDown lives hostile takeover of Monday Night Raw, right when Kurt Angle was about to announce the names of the men who would be representing the red brand at Survivor Series, makes it seem like the WWE wants to keep their identity of suspense for the time being. Naturally, one would expect Roman Reigns to be a part of the team, but without knowing for certain when he would be cleared for action, the WWE seems to have put off announcing the team in advance. This may, of course, be because they want to wait till they know for a fact that he can return to take up his rightful place as the spearhead of Raw, no pun intended. And if that is indeed the way WWE chooses to book him, it makes sense to put off the announcement and continue with the SmackDown vs. Raw invasion angle for a bit, until Roman shows up before Survivor Series to make Team Raw official. Number 4. Interferes at SS to take out Brock Lesnar. If in case the WWE decides against having Roman Reigns on Team Raw, because that would pretty much determine who wins, right, they could have him show up straight at Survivor Series and interfere in the Brock Lesnar vs. Jinder Mahal match. For one, that would make sense, because Paul Heyman is good as Barry Jinder Mahal on Raw, meaning that no one is going to take him seriously as a legitimate opponent to Brock Lesnar. And 2, it's pretty much set in stone that Reigns' path will cross with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 34. Why not throw in a curveball and give Jinder Mahal a shock win at Survivor Series, while also beginning the feud between Reigns and Lesnar good and early? Number 5. Defeats Miz for the IC Championship. Apparently, one of the narratives that the WWE wants to play out with respect to Roman Reigns as he approaches WrestleMania 34 is that he's won everything there is to be won apart from the Universal Championship. Now, for that to be true, he has to get his hands on the Intercontinental Championship, but as you well know, a mouthy, braggadocious A-lister stands in his way. Perhaps that also explains why The Miz teamed up with The Bar and went after the Shield in the first place. But with Reigns' unfortunate withdrawal from TLC, there is unfinished business between them. It would make sense, then, for him to return and make a beeline for The Miz in an attempt to win the IC Championship from him. Also, a Roman Reigns vs Baron Corbin matchup at Survivor Series makes much more sense than a heel versus heel match between The Miz and the Lone Wolf.